we must wear holy garments every Sabbath. Every Sabbath. What about Tuesday? How many days of the week are holy? 7, sister. Are you exceeding God? How many days of the week are holy? 1. How many days are we supposed to be holy? 7. Then, how should we dress on Thursday? Holy garments. You don't like what I'm saying? Thou shalt make holy garments for Moses, for Aaron. Now finish the verse for me. There are 2 qualities that the garments must have. Finish the verse. For glory and for beauty. Now, that order is deliberate. What's glory? Character. What is God telling Moses that the garments of Aaron should do? Reflect God. Now that kind of thinking makes the world laugh. But if the world would stop and think, do you know there's a garment that reflects rap culture? Am I right? Yes, there is a garment when you see a young man rap. You can tell a rock singer from a country singer. And now you're not listening to me. For those of you listening by internet in other parts of the world, I hope you can follow me. You can tell a country singer from a rock singer. They dress differently. You can tell a gospel singer sometimes from a classical singer. They dress differently. I was in Guyana, South America, 3 years ago, 4 maybe. And some local people were taking me around, and we drove across a river. And I was on one side of the river, and I looked across. Guyana has some large rivers. And I saw 2 young men on the far side of the river. And I said, 2 Mormons. I couldn't see their faces. You know what I saw? The way they were dressed. I said, 2 Mormons? Dark pants. What color shirt? White shirt. What color tie? Dark blue or black? A satchel in the hand. Hair trimmed, neat, face shaved, clean. 2 Mormons. I will give you $10,000 if you can walk through LA and pick out 2 Adventist young men. I will give you $20,000 if you go to an Adventist academy and pick out the Adventists from the non-Adventists. You can't do it. I will give you $50,000 if you can pick out the Adventist in an Adventist church from the visitors. Yeah, you're not listening. You're beginning to smell the food that's coming up that costs $7. But I want you to listen. I want you to listen. I am very serious. God told Moses the garments must be holy. And they must reflect glory and beauty. Women today reverse that. They dress for beauty first, and most of the time never get to glory. Because if you dress for beauty first, glory does not fit in. That's not the way it works. Are you following me? God has a system. If you dress for glory and you understand glory and you familiarize yourself with Ellen White's counsel and you study and you pray and the Spirit of God directs you, your glory in your garment will produce beauty. You must keep in mind, God's idea of beauty is not the world's idea of beauty. There's something called the red carpet, and you in LA should know what the red carpet is. The world makes a big thing about how people look on the red carpet. Are you with me? There's a lady called Lady Gaga. Do you have her CDs? Get rid of them. She wore a dress made of meat. I read about it. Meat. Those people try to be as extreme as they can. A dress made of meat. hanging all over her. And pictures were taken, and people were, the dress made of meat, because that's the way the world is excited. A few years ago, there was a lady called Sister Jennifer Lopez. She wore another dress that made headlines all over the world. And I would not dare to describe the dress. A few years ago, another one. I mean, a woman called, a female rapper called Little Kim. You see, these things, they make news. I'm not going looking for them, they're on the news. She showed up at an event with one breast hanging out and just a little, sticker on her nipple so that it became legal. And that's how she came. Now, the world, that's what the world promotes. You don't see people on the front page on the red carpet with a dress that covers them properly. Unless it's made for $40,000, then it becomes sinful because of the excess. And so Aaron's garments were for glory, then for beauty. Ladies, if you dress for glory, the men will have virtually no problem. We have to help save one another. I was listening to two ladies at my local church. This actually happened. They didn't know I was listening. They're both single, two desperate housewives. And nice ladies. That's about 15 years ago. And they were talking how to attract the attention of a man. That's what they were discussing. Let me tell you something. Don't tell anyone. The greatest need of a single woman is not Christ. The greatest urge and need of a single woman is not Christ. It's a man. Now, Christ is a man, but that's not the man. Are you listening to me? That's why people will leave Christ and his principles and go find any man. Because their greatest need is a man. And when they get the man, the next greatest need is a child. And they will get that child even if the way they get it displeases Christ. Are you sure your greatest allegiance is to Christ? These two women were talking, and one said, here's how you get a man to look at you. One said, and I'm paraphrasing, you dress in a way that causes everything that can shake to shake. That's what one said. And I just smiled and walked to the basement of the church. I mean, I heard it. I didn't want them to realize I'd heard. They would have been very embarrassed because I was a local elder at that church. And so I just smiled because they're very nice people. I know them. My brothers, my sisters, particularly my sisters, when you stand before your closet, your first thought must be, which outfit will reflect God? Now let me ask you this question. Is that what you think? Don't answer me. If that's not your motive, whatever you wear is unpleasing to God. I'll tell you why. Christ Object Lesson, Spirit 316, paragraph 2. Every act is judged by the motives that prompt it. Child Guidance, page 2:1, paragraph 3. Every course of action has a twofold character and importance. It is virtuous or vicious, right or wrong, according to the motive which prompts it. Then I ask, why did you choose that dress? If God had nothing to do with it, you made a bad choice.